Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Around the Colosseum. We're going to talk with Damien Morte today about his career so far. And it's not done yet, ladies and gentlemen. So, Morte, as we sit and record this, we're hours away from Thirst for Gold.
Man, it's hours, man. Feeling the excitement, are you?
Oh, yeah.
Man, well,
Whew. But before we get all that nervous energy out in the ring for you, let's go back to your origins with the love of this sport. Where did you first pick up being a fan of wrestling?
oh man, Johnny, it really, man, and I'm so bad with years and dates and all that. I'm horrible with it, so I apologize. But man, it was really broke off around the time of WrestleMania 14 with like Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold Steve Austin with the feud. Around that time, you had Austin and The Rock feuding with the Intercontinental title. You know, Austin getting thrown off the bridge into the river. You know, huge moments. But really, for me, it was WrestleMania 14 that just sealed it up for me. A lot of people talk like that match isn't good. It could have been much better because of the condition Shawn was in. Still one of my favorite matches of all time. And of course, what led after that was just Stone Cold and McMahon. Say what you will, to me, it's still the biggest story, biggest feud in professional wrestling. And as a kid at the age of 9, 10, or 11, you know, hooked easily on that. And it's just, seeing that, I was like, I've somehow got to do what it takes to be a part of this business.
Just to make you feel old, that was like 27 years ago.
Thank you. Okay, so yeah, gosh, man, that's why I'm probably bad with years. Man, but yeah, 27 years ago, I fell in love with it just because of Stone Cold, man. Just, to me, he's the greatest of all time and always will be.
I mean, there's a lot to debate about that part. Let's not do that. So were you always athletic, or did you just go from being a fan of wrestling to, hey, I want to wrestle?
You know, I mean, I try to, like, see myself as a great athlete. You know, now is that true or not? You know, I'll let everyone else decide. But, you know, especially in younger days, I played basketball. So, you know, I felt like that kept me in pretty good shape. About the age of 18 is when I actually started getting into professional wrestling. And so, you know, was I doing things the right way, hitting the gym up and taking care of myself like I should have been? No, but I was doing it enough to where, you know, decently in shape and decently athletic. Probably should have done a lot better than what I did back then, but hey, trying to make up for that now.
So, who was your trainer back in 18?
So I actually started off training with a man who would become my greatest tag partner, Rage Logan. He started training me in February of 04. From there, he introduced me to another trainer of mine, Corvin Sage. From there, I was introduced to Kareem Sadat, and also had a lot of tutelage with Tom Jones, you know, the legend of Oklahoma City. I was actually one of his last classes where he would actually step foot in the ring with. So, you know, between those four men, I've always kind of like, you know, how do I split it up? Who was my main trainer and all that? So it's just kind of like they both deserve at least a quarter of my training, you know. Sadat was the one that made me a tough little bastard. Rage really broke me in, made me tough as well, but also showed me a lot of stuff. Corvin Sage, you know, like, here's why we do it. And then Tom Jones, just, by gosh, man, the old schoolness, you know, of everything. So kind of, I felt like for the year and a half, 2 years I trained between those four men, I was very lucky because I got to see different aspects, or different sides of the business from that. So between those four men, those are my trainers. That's who I consider anyways.
So do you remember your debut match?
Like it was yesterday, man. October 14th, 2006. I had debuted against K-Rob, and it was the wildest thing. Do you remember MySpace? Hey, I know, man. Going back and feeling old again.
Set your own song. Your top, 5 friends, 10 friends, whatever it was?
Man, we were all coders back in the day.
Yeah.
So, man, it was really weird. This guy, K-Rob, he hit me up on MySpace. Just like, hey, you want to wrestle? Because I had some wrestling photos and all that of me training and all that. That was the cool thing to do, you know? And he was like, hey, let's have a match. And it's like, okay, I don't know who this guy is or nothing, but he had some wrestling photos. So I was like, well, I'm 18 or 19 at the time. Take a chance with it. So I ended up getting hooked up with K-Rob. Met him out at his place and all that. We drove around a little bit. Ended up changing in a rundown gas station, and then from there we headed to the underground arena. So like the whole day I was like, is this thing real? Am I about to be kidnapped? Is this guy gonna leave my body in the ditch? And I mean, this went on for like 10 hours. I was just like, what the hell? And then finally made it to the underground arena for Sooner World or All-American Championship Wrestling. So even going back farther, and that's where I was able to have my debut match against this guy in this awesome historical building downtown Oklahoma City. Got put through a table. Thought my member down there was ripped off because K-Rob was like a 250-pound guy, hands first on my junk, and yeah, man, no help from the ref. They had to call, or I had to crawl out of the ring.
And that's why he only has one kid, children. Ladies and gentlemen.
One. But yeah, that was, man. Somewhere I've even got photos of it, and I don't think you can find any of that stuff on the internet. But man, it was fun, and at that very moment, I was like, oh, I'm hooked on this.
Yeah, and part of why I'm doing this series of talks with wrestlers is so that we can get some of their memories of things that may not be documented. I mean, because once you're gone, who's left to tell your story, you know?
Right, man, and that's awesome, dude. I love this. I love watching this, man.
So, you debuted, had some very painful experiences from that, fell in love with the business. What was some of your first feuds?
Early on, so it was great. It was kind of a bummer. So I did that match with K-Rob. That was in October. December, I did a battle royal, same place for All-American Championship Wrestling. I was involved in that battle royal for probably a cup of coffee, not long. Had surgery after that back in January to get my shoulder repaired and all that. I had a bang art tear. So I just had tendons and all that crap from dislocating, damaging everything up in there. And when I came back, of course, that's where Sadat really worked with me at. And I started feuding with him and Kevin James Sanchez. Sane Sanchez eventually came into that, but that was my first real feud, was between those three men for the Sooner World Class Wrestling Hardcore title. By the time I had surgery, there was a power shift in the company. AACW had died off, and Sooner World Class Wrestling rose from those ashes. And those were my earliest feuds right there, is with those three men. We did that for, gosh, man, again, I'm so horrible with dates, Johnny, horrible with them. But we probably feuded for a good year at least, and then Rage Logan and myself teamed up as Nemesis, and we started feuding with the original X-rated Kevin James Sanchez, Shane Sanchez, and we just, I don't know, man, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but for 8 months, we just completely laid out the foundation for Sooner, built it, and just, man, made that company what it is today, or at least the memory of it, you know?
Yeah, I remember going through everyone's stats on Oklahoma, getting win-losses for the Empire, and seeing you with Nemesis. Weren't you either the first or one of the early day champions of Empire Pro Wrestling's tag division with Nemesis?
So we weren't with the champions with Empire per se. We were, cause man, are you talking about Empire Championship Wrestling before Empire Pro?
I just did Empire Pro Wrestling stuff.
Empire Pro Wrestling. So Nemesis has yet to actually wrestle under this banner. Now, as far as Sooner goes, we were one of the early champions there as the tag team. But we have not broken into Empire Pro Wrestling. Now, Empire Championship, myself and another member who, I'll just keep the name off the record for now, we were the first tag match for them.
Okay. Which, I mean, you can go back and find that information yourself. It's on the web.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So,
Oklafan is my favorite site to use for stuff like that.
So, what all titles have you held throughout your career?
I've held multiple hardcore titles, multiple tag team titles. I guess you can call them your mid-card titles. I've held all of those, cruiserweight titles, from all around, man. Sooner World Class Wrestling, Mid-South Wrestling Alliance, Impact Zone Wrestling down in Lawton, Oklahoma. they're just all over. And Empire Pro Wrestling is the only company I've actually finally been able to work up and win a heavyweight title, which currently holding right now, raw.
So you mentioned Impact Zone Wrestling. I know nothing about it being the promotion here in Oklahoma. Was that before or after TNA used that?
So, man, it was. I couldn't tell you because I came into Impact back in 2009, 2010, and you had I didn't know about the whole things backstage. I was kind of still new to Impact Zone Wrestling, but it was pretty close name-wise, but I can't remember who had it first on that name. I want to say it was Impact Zone Wrestling in Lawton, Oklahoma. They had it first because it was still originally TNA before they changed, but don't quote me.
Yeah, I mean, because I know it was TNA, and then they used the Impact Zone wall as TNA, and then they went to Impact Wrestling there for a while. And I just find it funny that independent promotions will use names of defunct major wrestling promotions or the same initials as current ones. Because Tahlequah has UWE, which was Universal Wrestling something.
The old Bill Watts,
Bill Watts. There was a promotion down on the Oklahoma-Texas border there for a while, WCCW, and they actually had, I think, bought the rights to use World Class Championship Wrestling from whatever organization or family had it after the Von Erichs.
Okay.
So yeah, it's always interesting to see which came first and who stole from who.
Yeah. I want to say IZW was first. Lawton, Oklahoma, Impact Zone Wrestling. I want to say they had it first, but again, don't quote me. I came into that company well after they had already established and were doing their thing. I came in on a good run with them, thank God, though.
So when
Dropping stuff.
when I did this with Stubstool Tommy D, we talked about ribs. To me, you seem like the person that would rib people. Have you pulled any off?
Gosh, man, I used to, and I haven't done it now. But I mean, there's some sensitive people out there. You know who you are. But I have ribbed a lot of people, and I'm a clean ribber, by the way, too. I'm not gonna ruin anybody's gear, their clothes, or anything like that. But I used to rib the heck out of people. If I had a can of, I wouldn't leave my house without a can of shaving cream in my bag. And I always tried to keep it clean like that. You know, I would take your shoe or your wrestling boot and just fill it up with shaving cream, fill your gear bag up with shaving cream. There would be times I'd go out to the ring and I'd have a handful of shaving cream and, get them. I tried to keep it good, clean, and fun. Shaving cream was probably my best tool. Like, I know I kind of keep repeating shaving cream, but I used to love that stuff. You get a little bit of Icy Hot or some Vicks Vapor Rub and put it on your thumb and go, hey, bud, you got something on your face there, right up under the eye. But, yeah, I was a fan of ribbing, man. And I knew I learned from some of the best in the business. I'll keep their names on the DL, but sometimes people would come back from their match and they'd see their entire gym bag chained up, hanging from the ceiling. Most of your bags will have 2 zippers. And you get those little tiny locks and zip them shut, man. Just minor inconvenient stuff. But I was always straight clean with the shaving cream. That was kind of my favorite thing to do, man.
Did anyone get you back with some good ones?
The best ones I think that have ever happened to me really was somebody did eventually get me back with the Vicks under the eye, or the Icy Hot, which burns like a son of a bitch. But other than that, no, I never really got hit with anybody. Now, my tag partner, I don't know if it was kind of like they were trying to go for me and got him by mistake, but he got his bag locked up one time. Of course, with the little zippers and a lock through them. That happened to him, which, again, I want to say it was because of what I was doing, which made it even funnier for me, not so much him. You gotta have fun with it, but I never really got ribbed too much, man. And I'm sure somebody out there, they're watching going, oh no, I got you this time. And if you truly are, comment, post it. I probably forgotten. But no, I never really got ribbed too much. I got lucky, I guess. I deserved it. I earned it, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think ribs happen that much anymore. At least I don't see them backstage.
Man, Johnny, I've been back for close to a year now. July will be a 1 year mark for me, and I haven't seen one rib, and that's a shame. I might just hit that 1 year mark just to keep it all clean and bring it back, putting you all on notice.
So you mentioned you've been back for a year. Tell people that don't know what took you out for that year.
So I was working strongly at Impact Zone Wrestling. That was kind of my go-to promotion there. We were every week we were going, and ended up not by financial reasons or anything like that. They just decided, the powers that be down there decided to shut the doors. It was time. They had lives they wanted to go live, do other things, and when they shut down, it was just one of those like, okay, what do I do now? You know, at that point, I'd been in for close to 15 years, something like that. Hit up a couple different promotions in that time, but nothing really major, nothing really stuck. And I needed to get my life on track, needed to get right. I had demons I was battling. Plus, man, it was time to be a family man. I got a son, got a wife. I needed to go and take care of them and, you know, be there for them, get my head on straight. And also, man, I mean, anybody who's ever been in that ring knows it hurts. It just hurts, man. So let me heal up a little bit. So that's really what kind of just took me out. It was time to go be dad, time to go be a husband, and time like I got to beat this stuff or it's gonna beat me. You know, drugs are bad, and if you have any sort of addiction, and you know what, say what you will, marijuana is an addiction. Go get that stuff fixed up, man. Reach out for help. Don't ever be embarrassed about it or anything like that. And I was doing a lot of stupid stuff, and that's really what it came down to. Again, don't ever, anybody out there who's ever struggling with anything like that, don't ever feel ashamed or anything like that. You can change. You just gotta do it. You know?
It's very true. So you come back July, and since then, did you win a title before the heavyweight championship? I don't remember. I know you faced Badger. Was it Badger James you faced in your first match back?
James. So my first match back was actually kind of a surprise. I'd gotten a call from Lucian Lovelace a couple of weeks before, Scars and Stripes. It was going to be the Psychotic Messengers taking on the Black Flag Rising. And one of their guys from the Psychotic Messengers, I believe it was Tank, wasn't going to be able to make it. So he hit me up and was like, hey, Morte, you want to come and help my guys out in this match? I'm like, of course, man. It's been a while, man. I'm kind of feeling a little bit of an itch. Let me come down there and scratch it. So, you know, got in the ring with them, you know, even though I was pinned by Badger, actually, in that match, you know, the team still won. It was great feeling like that, a victory. The powers that be at Empire were like, hey, you want to try and come back again? And I'm like, well, let me see. Let's do this. So at Injustice, God, I'm so bad.
Which I looked up was our August thing, because like
we have August?
Yeah, because we have our entire list of the shows for the rest of 2025 out on our Facebook.
You need to be looking at it.
And I looked, I'm like, Injustice, did we have an Injustice last year? Mm-hmm. And so I messaged the social media team, like, did we have an Injustice paper or match or edition last year? They're like, yeah. I'm like, okay. So, but yeah, August Injustice.
So yeah, and that's when you know, the powers that be, they were like, Morte, we can set you up with a great match against Badger James. It'll be for the EPW Internet Television Championship. And I was like, well, you know what? Why not? Let's see what happens. And that was my first singles match in maybe 6-7 years. I was against Badger, and he put on one hell of a show, whipped my ass and all that. Again, I don't know how I pulled it out, but I ended up pulling it out and capturing that title. And I don't know, man. It was as soon as that ref's hand hit 3, I was like, I'm back. I'm hooked. I love this company. I love these fans, and I'm at a point in my life now where I'm like, I can handle this, and I'm like, let's do this. Let's do this.
And you have done it where you're now our world champion, and I mean, besides tonight and just facing all oncomers, what else can you do in the company?
I mean, I'll tell you right now, it's nuts. Because I keep asking myself that after every match. When I walk back to that curtain with that title, I'm like, what now? What now? But this company, the things that we're doing all together, it's insane. if you look at the Empire Ballroom and just how it's grown with the crowds getting bigger and bigger,
Selling out VIP tickets.
like that is insane. That is insane. And I'm one for the fans. I look at these ticket prices and I'm like, gosh, dang, still selling out though.
I
man.
mean, you're talking about gosh dang on the ticket prices. Our Patreon, like, it doesn't pay Empire for a person to get the 25 level VIP or Patreon thing because they get 4 tickets, I think it is. Regular tickets are $12. Like, so you get 4 essentially VIP tickets for $25 off Patreon. It doesn't pay Empire. Like how we're not broke. Okay, out of business. I don't know with that math. The $10 gets you 2 tickets.
It's insane though. The way it's growing. You look at the stuff now that we're starting to do with Core 4 Brewery. We've got, I mean, yeah, it's Malachi, but man, his face is on a beer. Like it's the whole promotion as itself is just growing, and I'm like, I don't know where this rocket ship is.
And it's not just Malachi. There's other deals in the works that we can't say yet, but you gotta stay tuned.
You gotta keep staying tuned though. It's gonna be huge, and that's where I'm like, I don't know. I'm along for the ride, and I am loving every moment of it.
Well, let me transition to something I hope you weren't just along for the ride on. I see tattoos on your arm. I like tattoos. I have a few myself. Do you get them because they have meaning, or do you get them because it's like, that's a badass tattoo, put it on my skin?
You know, I used to, when I was younger, I was like, everything's gotta have meaning and all that. And I get people who do that. I understand it. For me, you know, I've got my son's name across my shoulders. This is for a friend that passed away years ago, the Rose. I don't know how many people out there remember Christopher Crow, the Freak Show. That's for him. Other than that, hey, it looks cool. It looks cool. I'm not trying to tell a story. I'm just like, let's get some random stuff on here that look nice. Maybe I won't regret it in 30 years, you know, maybe I will. But no, I mean, I've got just a couple with some true meaning, and then the rest, I'm like, hey, I like it.
I mean, I just noticed you're a little fat person there.
I'm a little punk fairy right there. So you have to be really up close to see, but it actually says punk behind it, because I'm always kind of, I'm a punk rocker, love the music style.
I mean, as long as it's not CM Punk, all right?
Brother, man, I'm with you there. I am with you there.
Do you play any video games?
Man, I'm a Halo fan. The Master Chief, that whole franchise, that is my jam right there.
See, I've always stuck with PlayStation, and I did play Halo with a friend, but that was a horrible friend, and he ruined stuff.
Oh,
like, instead of trying to teach you how, like, to do stuff, like, he threw me into a match against him, which all he did was play video games. On the Halo, I didn't even know how to shoot. And he wouldn't tell me how to shoot. He was like, figure it out. So
you played with a douchebag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, like, I never got into Halo.
Oh, man.
But, no. I was asking because, do you have the new WWE 2K25 game?
Man, I haven't. And I'm so behind even on consoles, man. I mean, I'm rocking with, like, Xbox One launch day. Like, I'm so bad. Like, I just broke out my Super Nintendo the other day, and I'm trying to get back on that.
That's what I like my Switch about, is I have the bundled where I got that.
So
and it has the NES. So, yeah. But no, like, the 2K25, I did Punks in the storyline, which I'm not happy about. But I looked, because you know he has tattoos, and he's famous for having that Pepsi logo tattoo.
Yeah.
They've turned it into a block of just 2 different colors, and it's not even the Pepsi colors.
Oh, see, because back in the day, they wouldn't even put it on. They would keep it clear, right?
And then his G.I. Joe Cobra tattoo, they have the little Cobra hood and nothing on the inside.
Nice.
But I mean, they put Randy Orton's tattoos in one of the games, and the tattoo artist then sued.
I remember hearing about that a few years ago.
Yeah, because she said that was her art that she needed money, royalties for. And I mean, in a way, the fact that she called it her art, she had merit. Because, like, I don't know if you've got custom tattoos besides your name, some, but, like, it is their artwork, but then at the same time, I commissioned it. you know?
Yeah, that's a weird one, man. That's a tricky road to go down right there. That is very tricky. I'm one of those. I'm like, oh, it's on my body. I gotta show it off. I mean, of course, you know, I've got my Slipknot tattoo. You know, I would hope they would never be like, give me money for that.
I mean, get rich and famous and find out. You know,
That's the goal, right? Right.
I mean, if I get rich and famous, the one tattoo that I have, well, I have 2 tattoos that might get me sued, but I mean, this is a Riverhawk logo, and then I have a VW tattoo right there. So those are the only 2 copyrighted images I think I have.
Right on.
But people don't see the VW. Actually, no, I have a little character down here. He's copyrighted, but covered up.
Hell yeah.
So let's wrap this up. And when I wrap this up, I like to give you the last word, because this is about you. It's not about me. It's not about anything else. It's about what you want to tell the fans. So look right there at the camera and give the fans the final word for this episode of Around the Colosseum.
Man, thank you guys for sticking not only by me, but by the promotion of Empire Pro. I promise you, sit there on the edge of your seat and just be ready for it. We haven't even truly started to scratch the surface of what Empire and Damien Morte are going to do, and things are just getting bigger and better, and the excitement is there. Thank you guys all again for your love and support. Let's get ready to burn this place down, I guess. Man, Johnny, thank you, man. Thank you so
sir.
much for this, man.